was going for a walk slash run this evening and started thinking about the meeting this evening, and I was sort of wondering what I might say at the start. Um, and then I just continued on walking, and sort of a struggle between running and walking. I kind of had this idea that I'd run more, but I didn't. Uh, and that is the start of the meeting, in the sense of that total diabolical ordinariness is in essence really what is most want to be shared here. That it is the sitting on a chair, it is hearing a voice, it is thoughts, it is the sensations, it is everything. And it's also the feeling that it can't be everything. It simply can't be this. That is also this mystery or this happening. And that's what we're sort of gathered here to talk about. And this is not at all special. It's not at all important or serious, or it's absolutely not about having anything or attaining anything. And it's also sort of seen that knowledge is just another having, and absolutely useless. And I suppose, at the start of these meetings, there is a sort of a kind of a grounding in what these meetings are about. It seems like we're not here to talk about football or the Rugby World Cup or whatever else. It seems that in essence we're here to talk about talking. So this immediacy that it's actually a meeting about talking happening, about a meeting happening, about this this isiness. It's called life, apparently. And for the most part, it is felt that life is a thing that's mine. And the predominant situation is that I am, or the predominant perspective of life is that it's my life and I'm living it to the best of my ability, and I'm getting through it, and I've X amount of years to make the absolute most of it. And that through volition and through making brilliant choices, I live the best possible life that I can have. And it would seem that seeking for a life that is pure, that is more pleasurable, is the sort of predominant way. It doesn't seem like people seek out torture and pain. Now, there are a few who might, but it seems that we seek through all sorts of pleasures a better life, and a part of that seeking, the idea of spirituality, enlightenment, liberation, happens upon us, and it seems like something to have, and something that might well be the answer to all of this. And but most of those spiritual teachings all appear to suggest that there is something that can be done, and that there is a place to arrive to where all of this will suddenly be clear. And at the very core of that is that there is someone that can attain, that can acquire or can get to this place. And that whether it's through that dropping away or whether it's some sort of attainment, that there is a place to get to where wisdom is possible, and some sort of let's just say, some sort of ease and peace with all this comes to the front. And whatever, there's different imaginations of what peace might be. In fact, there's probably a gazillion different versions of what peace might look like. And everybody will probably write down their own very different version of it. And that would seem to be, as a general description, the movement or the that, and it's very terribly general, but without getting into detail, let's just say seeking is about getting to a place where this will be better and something will happen for it to be absolutely certain. So the awful suggestion being made here is that there is no one seeking, but seeking appears to happen. And the equally awful suggestion is that no one finds. Because already there is no one in there pumping that heart, thinking those thoughts, feeling those feelings, but there are thoughts, feelings, and that wisdom and its accompanying friend knowledge is stale and old, and it binds this as if it then can be known, whereas the childlike mystery is simply that really there is nothing to say, that there is no words at all that capture this, and yet this appears like saying no words capture this. That is to say, the mystery is this. So that ramble, really, I suppose it's just an opening of the door to chat about this sort of mystery. And if there are questions there about this communication or about anything at all, really, then they're there to be asked. And it's a nice small gathering here. So just go for it, unmute, and no need to be polite. Put up your hand, just jump on in if there's a question there to be asked. And let's see what happens.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
Was there, I know I'm asking you to kind of go into a story here, but was there ever a point where this was really terrifying? Because I sort of feel like the seeking is leading to the edge of the cliff, and then you get to the edge of the cliff, and it's like, holy fuck, I didn't actually want to jump off the edge of the cliff. And I know that's just a story, but I don't know if you know what I mean.
I do absolutely recall wanting to unhear this. Absolutely. And terror, I can remember a little bit of terror. I mean, it's different for everybody, but I remember this sense of everything, and it was too much. And but the wonderful so that terror is just exactly what it appears to be. It's not your terror. It's just terror or fear. And you can't do that or not do that. And it's sort of a lovely reflection of absolutely everything, that sure, who could choose to, terror. It's like everything, it's just terror or fear appearing to happen. And there's nothing behind fear, but there is fear. Or a fear can appear, or anything and everything can appear. So, but it's not a getting to, it's just suddenly It's not like then on the other side of that is oh, I finally arrived. Nothing happens, but the sort of that fear is just, you know, there's no. It's like describing a bowl a bowl of cornflakes, right? It's not. This description here won't be the same as that description there of a bowl of cornflakes. The milk could be a different temperature or whatever. And what I'm saying is that there's no pathway to anywhere. And all there is what's appearing to happen. And so if there's fear and then the imaginations of a cliff, then that's just what's appearing to happen.
Yeah, and the fear of something happening is just another, I don't know, another imagination, I suppose.
It is another imagination, yeah. Now it can be sort of energetic, sort of too, but I can remember this sort of fear, and it was pretty, and then it just sort of came in, peaked, and disappeared like everything else. It sort of comes and goes, things like that. You know, you can't do it or not do it. You can't. If you were there, you'd definitely be able to relax into it. But it's just fear, and it's fear appearing to happen. And the imaginations is just relentless imaginations of this. And it's just imaginations appearing, though. You know, it's just thoughts and feelings and sensations and imaginations just appearing. It is what is then.
I do feel there's like a certain amount of comfort that comes from a story, because then you almost have that expectation of it finally leading to somewhere that would be safe and would be known. And then when it's kind of obvious that nothing is nothing and story is a story, it's like, I don't know, it's like pulling the rug out. Obviously no one does that in that story, but that sense of that kind of fear just falling through nothing, it's really, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, and it's just sort of appearing that's just what's appearing to happen then. It's not like you can then, oh, I'm going to put on the brakes then and stop that. Well, that can appear to happen too, or that this is horrendous, I really don't want this. That would be what's appearing to happen. I can remember wanting to unhear this, but it's all just kind of imaginations and stories, and it's not like this suddenly then becomes noble. And that's this ever freshness, but this ever freshness is just simply talking here now. You know, it's just simply, it's not like then there's a place to get to, but what's appearing to happen now is talking, and then whatever thoughts come up about this, and that would be what is. There's no, it's just, it doesn't arrive, but it doesn't also depart. It's just, there's just what is. And that's at best, that's probably, you can say, it's not that you can say it, but that seems to be what's the most minimal that can be said, is there's just what's appearing to happen. But that even can be imagined in a sense of, oh, well, it's a good, what's appearing to happen. No, it can be fear. That's also this. There's no one in there doing fear. And there isn't a landing in nothing.
The fact that I can no longer derive anything from what you're saying is that as well, is that fear.
Yeah, we see what I'm saying is a lot of bullshit, though. Also, it's absolute, like, it's the exact same as this conversation is just what's appearing to happen. And it can seem at a certain point that the question's the same as the response. It's just what is. And almost when sometimes it can be the case of when the question's asked that sort of just was there to be asked, but there's nothing in the response, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We might as well be birds tweeting, or I might as well just be talking to myself, or it's
Well,
just, but that in of itself is terrifying, and I wish I could unhear it.
yeah, I suppose in a sense it is scary because they're so used to this being so noble. I'm Frank, you're Emily, and this is a meeting, and we're talking about non-duality, and that those words, for a lot of time, can seem nice and solid and real, but when they're not real, it's not very. It can be uncomfortable.
I can't grasp anymore, and that not being able to grasp, not that anyone could ever grasp and anyone could never have, but no longer being able to grasp at those words like they have something in them. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, I suppose it is utterly and totally mind blowing, and that's this ever freshness. But when the word ever freshness is used, it's imagined to be pink roses and Zen, or whatever the imagination of Zen is like, not full on edgy, uncomfortable aliveness. Don't give me that. I do not want that. I do not want this. That's essentially, but it's whatever is appearing to happen. But you can't have it though, or not have it. So it's sort of a relief and a relaxation. You can't have this. And so then all the imaginations of what this is or what's happening, it's just imaginations appearing. It's just rah, 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 rah. It doesn't go anywhere either. So then it's just somehow then talking, appearing to happen. Somehow a question can appear, boom. Somehow it'll be fucking hell, like, what's the story? I go, I don't fucking know, Emily. I don't know. Everybody else knows.
Yeah, I don't know. God.
It's awful, isn't it? But
Like,
it's also very ordinary, and it's just what's appearing to happen then.
enlightenment is such a lovely, comforting story. It's like Hansel and Gretel, little crumbs just leading you into the oven.
It's sort of like, it seems like, I think lately I said something like, it's sort of, these are all, they can be perceived as sort of glamorous expressions, like, and it's basically, it's sort of words like liberation and enlightenment, almost like you put your head in this lion's mouth thing, and then you go, hold on now, sorry, there isn't liberation, there isn't enlightenment, but also there isn't a lion's head. It's all a fucking story. Everything, every part of it, it's all a story. Everything. Saying it's a story is also a story. It's this, and I do not know what the fuck this is. Woohoo! Oh shit. Can we go back to the knowing thing again? Can we go back to seeking? No, you didn't do seeking or not do seeking.
It's incredible, really. I mean, we all just sort of assume we know what this is because we've agreed on how we label it. But really, it's so obvious that, oh, I don't know. I'm talking nonsense now.
But sorry, it is exactly that in essence. The entire world appears to know what this is. And even there's a paradox of these meetings, because it seems like, oh, well, Frank has got this, even if it's nothing. Frank hasn't got nothing, and nothing might have Frank, but it's just it's all imaginations and stories appearing to happen. And in the end, there isn't anyone that finds, but there isn't anyone. So there isn't anyone anywhere, like. So that's, in a sense, there is a sort of, that's the childlikeness. It's sort of this blatantly, what? I don't know what this is. I don't know. What are you talking about? And all the seriousness and all the adult important stuff. It's sort of like, I don't know what you're talking about. But the games continue to be played, and life appears to be, to go on. And from time to time, then there's the rare, unfortunate few, and these sorts of gatherings appear to happen. But it is really, at the essence, it's the mystery. Is this just talking now? That's what this is called now. This talking.
I want those lovely stories back. Can I have my money back? This isn't what I signed up for. I feel sick and not enlightened.
So, like, it's just the imaginations of enlightenment. Is that it's pink? It's not, you know what I mean? Is that it's rosy and wise?
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Totally, yeah. And that just there'll be no discomfort or pain, and it'll just be laughter, and that those Zen smiles, those unknowing smiles. It's a total. If there was someone, then they'd definitely be able to have the world and everything. It would be a little bit heavy though, to have everything. So then it is the free fall, let's just say, is as everything, as whatever is felt, every last tiny drop. And you can't have it or not have it. It's just what's apparently appearing. Apparently, as well, is a great word and the most annoying word ever. But it's like, any word really, there's no realness to it. So that's why it's apparently a meeting about something called non-duality. That's all bullshit.
You're not letting me have anything.
Well, if you were there, then you could have something. But who could have what? Like, it's sort of dissolving, constantly dissolving, including the wanting to hold on is also free fall. It's inescapable.
I do get to a point where I wonder how this is even talked about, really, and yet I have lots of questions and there is lots of talking, but it's just nothing, really, is it? What are we even talking about?
Exactly. It's just, you see, then it's just talking appearing to happen. That really is the essence. That's the beginning and end. It's talking appearing to happen. But it's not and then it's questions appearing to be asked. So it's just this, like, and so nothing happens. And nothing isn't a thing either. So it's just like this, like, so it never sort of arrives at a station.
So nothing's ever gotten.
There's no one in there that can have.
Right. So
this.
there may be appearances of getting, but there's nothing getting.
There's just there's no one in there that can have a thing called life, or can have this or get this. there's just no one in there
Right.
already, but there is what's felt and described and what appears to be happening. And what appears to be happening can feel like seeking, or can feel like sort of whatever is. So it's like no one asked whatever was asked there. And no one isn't a someone. So then it's just whatever was asked. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, Emily, was there anything else that maybe was you might want to ask?
Not really. I don't know. I wish I hadn't eaten before this. I feel quite sick.
I think that's my best review yet. That's great. Thank you. Yeah. Sleeping is going to happen. Feeling nauseous. In a way, you could say that this is sort of rejected. This, but you can't. That's not a doing either. Of course, it's rejected, but it's not. There's nobody rejecting it, and therefore nobody can accept it. So they're all there. What's left is whatever is, and that includes questions, no questions, just whatever is appearing, and nothing special. No one that is a speaker, that is really is talking. No one asking questions. Just this, just whatever appears. And that includes all the thoughts, all the feelings of, well, I want to unhear this or whatever.
I mean, it's kind of a relief. It's so obvious, but at the same time, that's it. That's the safety. It just, I don't know. I struggle to sort of formulate stories about it because it just feels like it's pointless to even talk. But
well, funny, it's then it's appearing as saying it's pointless to even talk. That would be simply what is appearing to happen then.
ah. Oh God. It is crazy that this conversation is even taking place. It's just incredible.
Yeah. It's you could say this let's call it aliveness is the elephant in the room, and it appears like it's extraordinarily rare that a conversation would appear to happen about the mystery of this aliveness, that it's incredibly rare, and yet it would seem like sort of the most natural sort of conversation to be had.
Yeah.
But and if there was someone in there driving the dream bus, they could talk about this articulately and speak very well about what this is, might be, and blah, 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 blah. But it's totally unknowable. It's just, it's this aliveness. What's this aliveness? This, whatever it's called, this talking now, the apparent asking that question. It's just everything appearing as everything, indivisible, let's say, everything.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to a friend about all this yesterday, and we were kind of going back and forth about some ideas that either of us had about ordinary, and of course, in the end, there's no knowing what ordinary is either. Like when you show, like in the book promotion, when you say I've written a book, and then the next 30 seconds is coffee dripping into a pot. In so many ways, that's really indescribable. I mean, that isn't something one can capture or understand, or I don't know, like I understand that seeking has so much to do, well, I don't mean to say I understand it, but seeking has so much to do with being special, like in some way or another, especially fucked up or clueless or especially deserving of enlightenment or whatever all of that is. But and then so often there's an emphasis on just what's happening. And then there's actually no putting your finger on what's happening. There's no, it can look any way of a million ways. It can appear any way of a million ways. And I guess there isn't any question about it. It's just like here the 8 or 9 of us are. You're in Ireland. People are from all over the world. We're talking to each other, and that's ordinary.
And yet it's sort of not. sort of this, that's this phenomenality, forgetting Ireland and whatever, this talking, and that's what was said, and the traffic outside, and this bald head and earphones, and so that's really, in a sense, it's ordinary, because I suppose the word ordinary is used to suggest that the mystery is this, like the mystery is this simple talking. And
yeah,
that's it's like how you described that, the coffee, and it's like everything, it seems like the words make it all very noble. and that's, but the underlying, let's say, is this this mystery, but it's not far away. It's this
yeah.
So
You mean when you say it's not, part of it is any kind of labeling of what it is, and how in some ways that still imbues it with some idea of what it is. Is that where you're
yeah,
going with?
it's like this idea that this is a meeting, a solid
Yeah.
a meeting, and it's about a subject. And
Yeah.
that's Maureen, this is Frank, and we're having a conversation. And so that's the sort of realness then, let's just say, that makes that all seem pretty noble. And for most people, like paint, it's like paint drying. Sure, that's just fucking a conversation. But the underlyingness is sort of this, that is this mystery.
Yeah.
That's what seems to be the urge, is to want to share, to talk about that. But it's that's just also happening. That's also indescribable. Like the coffee, like the grass, like the birds, like hands. It's also indescribable, this just apparent talking. You know, it's the same as the coffee or the traffic outside or everything.
Yeah. That it can't, like it, there's no reducing it or expanding it, or there's nothing really.
No, if there was someone, they could reduce it and expand it.
Yeah.
You know, they could nail it. They'd definitely be able to nail it in good words. But the free fall, or the free falling, is that there is no one doing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Seems like there's a few Balties with the glasses. Anyway.
Shame we haven't all got a glass of wine like Jan has, though. Hey,
Yeah, yeah, I saw that
hey.
earlier. Mm.
It's so wonderful because, well, in a way, it's really a meeting without any subject, without it's talking happening, um, but not talking about something, because there's nothing to talk about in a way. And if we call it a mystery, it's there's no different as call it ordinary and simple. It's in a way it's the same. It's sometimes it's yeah, absolutely ordinary, and then in a way because you can't describe it, it's a mystery again. So but there's no differentiation between these both, these ordinariness and the mystery of it. And but anyway, we talk about it, and every word we use, and or every word which is being used is not because of trying to understand each other or because of, it's just talking, and it's wonderful that it's happening. And yeah, and that's again the mystery. Because yeah, wow.
Mm. Just this, it's what's appearing to happen is talking. Let's just say
Hmm.
that's the description arising for what's happening. But the actual description arising is also this sort of mystery. It is as then talking, as questions, as hearing sounds, as everything. So it's no one's mystery. There's no volition, there's no choice, no, it's it would appear like there's a choice. Oh, I'm going to come to the meeting this evening. Will I come to it? Will I not come to it? But choices appear to be made, and yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm very happy that it's happening that way. So thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Nice one.
Hmm.
It's crazy that sitting in a Zoom saying nothing just seems like the most fascinating thing ever. As I feel if someone watched me doing this, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, even things like, silence is almost sort of, let's say, objectified as, oh, a lovely silence, but it's not silence. There isn't a silence. It's just apparently not talking or no questions, and but it's just also it's what's happening, and so for some it can be unbearable, and then it'd be some trying to, whatever reaction is is possible. It's sort of in a way it's free to be like that, you know. It's free to be however it appears to be being. Like I tell my other half that it's there can be silence, and she's just go, fucking that sounds like torture.
There's like so many other sort of stories and imaginations that I mean that's a story in of itself, but for that to survive and like the imagination of time or wasting time being one of them, it's just like, no, I'm not wasting time. I'm not doing anything.
No, no. And like even like saying it's a story is also a story. So so there's all there is what's the glue and all that can just fall out of everything, really, the stickiness of all of, but stories appear to be told, and it's like that in everything. So, and going down rabbit holes, and it's in the end really it's just what's appearing. So whether it's silence or talking about anything and everything is also this, but it just doesn't seem the attachment and all that falls out of it all, really. The realness, in a sense does, but still just, just what's appearing. It's so sort of, this is so immersively whatever is, and it's like if a bus is appearing to come towards, it's the reaction is not, that's a story. there's well, let's just say hopefully there is a movement away from the bus coming hurtling towards into out of harm's way. But and then the retelling of that is it's sort of instantly gone almost. There might be echoes, so you could say, but it's just a story then being told about a bus coming and avoiding the bus. It's it's all, that's a story. But this then is just so fully, so like this, what's happening, this talking is so fully as talking or silence, that it's impossible to talk about this talking, but it also appears as saying that it's impossible to talk about this talking. So in other words, it's what we're talking about is it's this mystery, or this yeah. Anyway,
Impossible.
impossible, yeah. Wonderfully impossible. And it's why, in a sense, nothing happens. Because it's just they're already and forever. There never was anyone in there doing anything.
Sorry, I'm being rude, not saying thank you, and then just muting myself.
Rude is brilliant, and whatever. Be rude. Thank you for what?
Yeah, I'm thanking you for nausea and fear, really, aren't I?
For nothing. Really nothing.
In one of my first quote unquote radical non-duality meetings, there was an exchange between a person and the speaker. And at the end of it, the person was just incredibly agitated. And they said, "Thank you," in a really frustrated way. And then they said, "I guess." And I just thought that was fantastic. I guess.
I guess, yeah. Fuck you is probably better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But being polite is, that's what could happen. In a sense, this idea of, let's say, radical non-duality or whatever, all those ideas, like really, this is so, and there's the word again, it's so totally ordinary. This is just a sort of a conversation appearing to happen, but there can still be lost in imaginations of liberation and not quite, whatever. And that's just more imaginings appearing, or something's not quite right now, I need to, or whatever is felt. And sure there was a point I was going to make there, but it just seemed to stop. Oh, Jesus. Suppose it's that there isn't really, there isn't non-duality. That's pretty radical, I suppose. So you can't get closer or further away to what's appearing to happen. There is just that, not you and. So thank you very much, and have a lovely rest of whatever day, evening. All right.
Cheers, Frank.
Take it
Thank-
It
easy.
was
Thanks very
lovely.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
See you later.
everybody.
Thank you
Really.
all. Thank you all.
Nice chat tonight.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah.
See you
See you
later.
all.
Bye.
Ah, bye bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.